How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. All right, very good. I guess one of the settings just decided to change itself. All right. Dee Dee, you can't hear me. You might have to reset or restart your app then, maybe? Everybody else seems like they can hear me. Well, let's get to meditation. So set your body up in whatever comfortable, stable position works for you. Whether you're sitting on a cushion or a chair or a couch, whatever. Everybody here that I can see has done guided meditations with me before, so I don't need to guide through the setting up of the mindful scanning of the body. You know what to do. So do the mindful scan, and then when you're ready, move on to the breath, and then we'll do some metta from there. All right, let's switch over to metta. As always, we start with filling our sphere with goodwill towards ourselves, and then we spread it out to ever larger numbers of beings as we make the sphere larger. And starting with ourselves, we repeat the words, may I find happiness. May I find peace. May I live in friendship with all beings. May I find release from suffering. May I find happiness. May I find peace. May I live in friendship with all beings. May I find release from suffering. May I find happiness. May I find peace. May I live in friendship with all beings. May I find release from suffering. One more time. May I find happiness. May I find peace. May I live in friendship with all beings. May I find release from suffering. Spread your sphere out to encompass the entirety of the building you're in, encompassing all beings within, human, animal, insect, seen and unseen, with your sphere of goodwill and friendliness. Repeat the words. May all of us in this building find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Spread your sphere out to encompass the entirety of the town that you're in, whatever beings may be in that town. May all of us in this town find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Spread your sphere out to encompass the entirety of whatever state, region, or province you're in. May all of us in this region find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Spread your sphere out to encompass the entirety of the country that you're in. Millions and millions of beings, humans, animals, insects, seen and unseen. May all of us in this country find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Spread your sphere to encompass the entirety of our planet, Earth. A pale blue dot in a sea of darkness, teeming with life. Trillions of beings on the air, land, and sea. Your sphere of goodwill and friendliness totally encapsulating the earth, pervading all beings within. May all of us on this planet find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find relief from suffering. Spread your sphere out into the cosmos, going ever further, encompassing the entirety of our home galaxy, the Milky Way, consisting of hundreds of billions of stars and planets, who knows what life where. We need to concern ourselves with the specifics, only that we are spreading and pervading our goodwill and friendliness to whatever beings there may be. May all of us in this galaxy find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Spread your sphere out to encompass the entirety of the known universe and beyond, the full universe, wherever beings may be otherwise, we don't know, other dimensions, other places, who knows. Continue spreading your sphere out into infinity to encompass all beings everywhere in the samsaric state. May all of us everywhere find happiness. May all of us find peace. May all of us live in friendship with each other. May all of us find release from suffering. Slowly open your eyes, becoming aware of the room around you, your body's position in it. Reflecting on the state of your mind before and after the meditation, and contemplating any experiences that stood out. And while you do that, I will say that welcome to Dhammapalooza, the Festival of Dhamma with the Magasega community that happens every Monday night, where we do a variety of different Dhamma-related activities. We started out with some chanting, we've done some meditation, and perhaps now we will read a sutta, answer questions. Maybe somebody has a topic they'd like me to give a talk on. We'll see how it goes. There is always a sutta in the back pocket if nobody has anything else to say. Can't go wrong by reading suttas. It's a good night. All right. Kamma and group kamma. What specifically about kamma? But I could definitely talk about group kamma, but kamma is a very wide open subject. So other than group kamma, what specifics would you like me to talk about? All right. So Didi, what is the significance of the shoulder showing? This goes back to the suttas. You'll actually see this in the suttas, where the people will have their shoulder bare and they'll circumambulate the Buddha with on their right. So it's basically like a sign of respect. I remember when I first was very brain. I was literally like my first week as a monk. Actually, I think I was a Samanera even, and I had gone out for some reason, I don't know, doctor or whatever, and I came back and I paid respects to Bhante Ji with both of my shoulders covered. And he says, Jayasari, he says, don't, from now on, don't do that with a senior monk. because it's not considered respectful. So even if you're around other monastics, like you'll see this. If you're around monastics enough, you'll see that when monastics come in from like traveling, maybe they're traveling and there's going to be other monastics there, they will change their robe from the robe being over two shoulders to the robe being over the one shoulder to pay respects. So same thing when bowing to a Buddha statue too. It's considered, it's an ancient Indian basically way of showing respect. What the origin of that is, like, does it ever explain exactly why? No. Who knows how many hundreds of years this was something by the time of the Buddha. This was just something that was seen as a sign of respect at the time of the Buddha. Group karma. Well, Buddha, what did this Dhamma talk tell you about group karma? If you must know, right off the bat, in the suttas, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as group karma. There's literally no such thing. Because there can't be. Everyone's karma is their own. Right? That's one of the 5 reflections. Everyone's karma is their own. And thinking of in terms of group karma, which the Buddha never ever said, it can be very unskillful and very dangerous. So it's in my opinion not even worthy of 2 seconds of thought, other than it doesn't exist. I mean, one could argue that, well, maybe the collective bad karma of a bunch of people together might mean a lot of bad karma, but the thing is, they're still experiencing their individual bad karma, right? The group karma can be construed as like you're born a certain race, you're born for a certain country, you're born a certain person, and then you take on the sins of whatever happened before and all this stuff. It's not skillful or useful or beneficial in any circumstance at all. Maybe somebody one day will tell me one that is, but I highly doubt it. Now, Thai Forest can have their own views on things, right? Very little of Thai Forest is actually is sutta based. So, you can have a lot of different Thai Forest teachers tell you a lot of different things, which is why I don't hold the Dhamma of Thai Forest very highly. I hold the monastic form of Thai Forest very highly, and I hold like Ajahn Chah very highly. But in general, it's a mixed bag when it comes to Thai Forest. So it's never been something that the Dhamma of Thai forest has never been something that I've connected deeply to because of that huge mixed bag of what some monastic teacher is going to say. If you want to know what Maggaseka in terms of its Dhamma is maybe, in terms of how it presents the Dhamma, is maybe 60-40 Sri Lankan and Thai, and in terms of Vinaya, it's going to be a good amount more Thai, maybe reversed. Because the Sri Lankans, I hold the Dhamma, the way they teach the Dhamma, as the highest, and I hold the way the Thais have the monastic form as the highest. Now, not everybody can be the best at everything. That's just how it goes. Any other questions? Hello, Jantha. Welcome. All right, let's start reading the sutta then. The shorter discourse on the Cowherd. So I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying in the land of the Vajis, near Utkachela, on the bank of the Ganges River. There the Buddha addressed the mendicants. Mendicants, venerable sir, they replied. The Buddha said this: Once upon a time, mendicants, there was an unintelligent Magdan cowherd. In the last month of the rainy season, in autumn, without inspecting the near shore or the far shore, he drove his cattle across a place with no ford on the Ganges, to the northern shore among the Suvidyans. I say oof because I actually took a riverboat on the Ganges, and the Ganges is, at least where I was, is really big and really wide. Maybe it's shorter in some places. But anyway, but the cattle bunched up in midstream and came to ruin right there. Why is that? Because the unintelligent cowherd failed to inspect the shores before driving the cattle across at a place with no ford. In the same way, there are ascetics and Brahmins who are unskilled in this world and the other world, unskilled in Mara's dominion and its opposite, and unskilled in death's dominion and its opposite. If anyone thinks they are worthy of listening to and trusting, it will be for their long-lasting harm and suffering. Once upon a time, mendicants, there was an intelligent Magadan cowherd. In the last month of the rainy season in autumn, after inspecting the near shore and the far shore, he drove his cattle across the ford on the Ganges River to the northern shore among the Suvidyans. First he drove across the bulls, the fathers and captains of the herd, They breasted the stream of the Ganges safely, reaching the far shore. Then he drove across the strong and tractable cattle. They too breasted the stream of the Ganges and safely reached the far shore. Then he drove across the bullocks and the heifers. They too breasted the stream of the Ganges and safely reached the far shore. Then he drove across the calves and the weak cattle. They too breasted the stream of the Ganges and safely reached the far shore. Once it happened that a baby calf had just been born, urged on by its mother's lowing, even it managed to breast and stream the Ganges and safely reach the far shore. Why is that? Because the intelligent cowherd inspected both shores before driving the cattle across at the ford. In the same way, there are ascetics and Brahmins who are skilled in this world and the other world, skilled in Mara's dominion and its opposite, and skilled in death's dominion and its opposite. If anyone thinks they are worth listening to and trusting, it will be for their long-lasting welfare and happiness. Just like the bulls, the fathers and captains of the herd who cross the Ganges to safely, are the mendicants who are perfected, who have ended the defilements, completed the spiritual journey, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, achieved their heart's goal, utterly ended the fetter of continued existence, and are rightly freed through enlightenment. Having breasted Mara's stream, they have safely crossed over to the far shore. Just like the strong and tractable cattle who cross the Ganges safely, are the mendicants who, with the ending of the 5 lower fetters, are reborn spontaneously. They are extinguished there and are not liable to be returned from that world. They too, having breasted Mara's stream, will safely cross over to the far shore. Just like the bullocks and heifers who crossed the Ganges to safely, are the mendicants who, with the ending of the 3 fetters and the weakening of greed, hatred, and delusion, are once returners. They come back to this world once only. They make an end of suffering. They too have breasted Mara's stream, will safely cross over to the far shore. Just like the calves and weak cattle who cross the Ganges to safety, are the mendicants who, with the ending of the 3 fetters, are stream enterers, not liable to be reborn in the underworld, destined for awakening. They too have breasted Mara's stream, will safely cross over to the far shore. Just like the baby calf who had just been born, but urged on by its mother's lowing, still managed to cross the Ganges safely, are the mendicants who are followers of the teaching, followers by faith. This is Dhamma followers and faith followers. They too, having breasted Mara's stream, will safely cross over to the far shore. So we see here, Dhammanusarino, Saddhanusarino. One who has become a stream enterer through faith, one who has become a stream enterer through the Dhamma, understanding the Dhamma. You could say through wisdom. But anyway, it's Dhamma follower and faith follower. Mendicants, I am skilled in this world and the other world, skilled in Mara's domain and its opposite, and skilled in death's domain and its opposite. If anyone thinks I am worth listening to and trusting, it will be for their lasting welfare and happiness. That is what the Buddha said. Then the Holy One, the teacher, went on to say, this world and the other world have been clearly explained by one who knows, as well as Mara's reach, and what's out of the death's reach, directly knowing the whole world. The Buddha who understands has opened the door to freedom from death. For finding the sanctuary extinguishment, the wicked one's stream has been cut. It's blown away and mown down. But full of joy, be full of joy, mendicants, set your heart on sanctuary. I like that. Set your heart on sanctuary. Michelle, you say you have enough, unfortunately, you have enough what? Just waiting for the chat. Well, why don't we read some Tara and Tarigata? Metaji. Homage to the Blessed One, the glorious Sakyan, having reached the best, he beautifully taught the best teaching. Chakupala. This is one of my favorites. This was when I was reading this at Abhayagiri. When I was trying to hopefully stay the Vasa, it only turned out to be a month, but still, I was reading in their monk area. I would go every day and read a little bit of the suttas and the Dhammapada, and this one really called out to me. I'm blind, my eyes are ruined. I'm traveling a desolate road. Even if I have to crawl, I'll keep going, though not with wicked companions. That one line to me is like the path, right? It's like no matter how hard it is, no matter whatever obstacles are in my way, even if I have to crawl, I'll keep going. It's a wonderful line. Chakupala is a blind monk. It's said that Chakupala became awakened from walking meditation, and he is also featured in a sutta where he is walking meditation and he's killing, stepping on beings because he's blind, he can't see them. And monks kind of, they yell at him, they admonish him. And then they go to the Buddha, and the Buddha says, well, he's awakened, right? He's like, there's no intention to kill beings. He's an awakened being. He's just doing his walking meditation. Right? And so it's an interesting, Chakupala is somebody who I've known about for quite a long time. Bhante Silananda actually first told me about the monk Chakupala. Because back when I was very, very brand new to Bhavana, and I was when I was talking to Bhante Sila, I was only doing my walking meditation maybe a year. And I asked him about, the possibility of doing more walking meditation and less sitting and all these kind of stuff. He goes, well, Chakupala became awakened just from walking meditation. And I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. But as most of you who've been around me long enough know, even though the inclination for walking meditation is in me and I find it's better and I gain more from walking meditation, I still do sitting meditation anyway, because that's how the Buddha taught us to do it. But I almost use Bhante Silananda's statement as a kind of justification to not to neglect my sitting, but I didn't do it, thankfully. All right. Kanda Sumana. I offered a single flower and then amused myself in heavens. For 800 million years. With what's left over, I have become quenched. Tisa second. Giving up a valuable bronze bowl and a precious golden one too, I took a bowl made of clay, which was the typical monk's bowl in the early days. By the end, they had monk's bowls that are made of iron and things like that, because you see this in the Vinaya. But in the very early days, and the most common monk's bowl of the Buddha's day was clay. I took a bowl made of clay. This is my second initiation. And this is why there's so many rules about being careful about bowls. Because a clay bowl, you drop it or whatever, it can break. Abhaya. When you see a sight, mindfulness is lost as you focus on a pleasant feature. Experiencing it with a mind full of desire, you keep clinging to it, your defilements grow, leading to the root of rebirth. Sadhu. Uttiya. When you hear a sound, mindfulness is lost as you're focused on a pleasant feature. Experiencing it with a mind full of desire, you keep clinging to it. Your defilements grow, leading to transmigration. All right, let's do some Tarigata. Upachala. A nun with faculties developed, mindful and seeing clearly, I penetrated that peaceful state which reprobates. Reprobates. I love. I like that. Not followed by worthless men, useless men, foolish men. I like that term, reprobates. Reprobate. Which reprobates do not cultivate. Why don't you approve of rebirth? When you're born, you get to enjoy sensual pleasures, enjoy erotic delights. Don't regret it later. Death comes to those who are. So this is kind of like basically like what they are saying to her, or to people who are reprobates would say in this situation. And now this is her response. Death comes to those who are born, and when born, they fall into suffering, the chopping off of hands and feet, killing, caging, misery. But there is one born in the Sakyan clan, an awakened champion. He taught me the Dhamma for transcending rebirth. Suffering, suffering's origin, suffering's transcendence, and the Noble Eightfold Path that leads to the stilling of suffering. After hearing his words, I happily did his bidding. I've attained the three knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Relishing is banished in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. And so just so you know, this here, Antika, means like death, or the ender, literally the ender, right? The terminator, the thing that terminates. You're beaten, death. You're beaten, Terminator. Si Supachal. An unaccomplished in ethics, her sense faculties well restrained, would realize the peaceful state, so delectable and nutritious. There are gods of the 33 and those of Yama, also joyous deities. The gods who love to create and the gods who control that imagined by others. Set your heart on such places where you used to live. The gods of the 33 and those of Yama, also joyful deities, the gods who love to create, and the gods who control what is imagined by others. Time after time, life after life, are governed by substantial reality. They haven't passed beyond substantial reality. Those who transmigrate through birth and death. All the world is on fire. All the world is alight. All the world is ablaze. All the world is rocking. The Buddha taught me the Dhamma, unshakable, incomparable, not frequented by ordinary people. My mind adores that place. After hearing his words, I happily did his bidding. I retained the 3 knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Relishing is banished in every respect, and the mass of darkness is shattered. So know this, wicked one, you're beaten, Terminator. Yeah, imagining Mara as a relentless android. You know, Terminator is actually a technical term. I have seen it. It's basically the exact spot of day and night. Right? I actually saw it in a plane. I think when I was coming back from Australia many years ago, or no, not Australia, New Zealand, back in like 2008. But the term Terminator is an actual like technical term, in addition to obviously the movie. And of course, as we know, Bhante Sujato, you know, you obviously is using Terminator, knowing full well that the average Westerner is going to know the movie reference. So I probably would do the same. And it just fits very well, I think. I think it fits very well. All right. Let's do one more. I think then we'll call it Vada's mother. Vada, please never ever get snarled in the world. My child, do not partake in suffering again and again. For happy dwell the sages, Vada. Unstirred, their doubts cut off. Cooled and tamed and free of defilements. Vada, foster the path that the seers have walked for the attainment of vision and for the making an end of suffering. And now this is obviously Vada's response. And Vada here is a man, because if it was a woman, it would say Vada. But so this is a mother basically talking to her son. Mother, you speak with such assurance to me on this matter. My dear mom, I can't help thinking that no snarls are found with you. Vada, not a jot or a skerrick of entanglement is found in me for any condition at all, whether low, high, or middling. All defilements are ended for me, meditating and diligent. I retain the 3 knowledges and fulfilled the Buddha's instructions. Oh, so excellent was the goad my mother spurred me with. Owing to her compassion, she spoke verses on the ultimate goal. On hearing her words, advised by my mother, I was struck by righteous urgency for the sake of sanctuary from the yoke, striving, resolute, tireless all day and night, urged by my mother, I realized the supreme peace. Maybe not. Wait a second. No, Vada's mother. So I guess this is a verse of the son talking about his mother, and it's in the Therigatha? Because this is not... Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know. Anyway, I think we are good there. Yeah, not the least bit stoppable, always going forward. That is from the like a murderer out to kill. That's from the modern Anusati, which I'm sure you've heard. All those years of us doing MME together, you've heard that many times, Gregory. Yeah. The traditional Sri Lankan chant for deaths. Lorraine says, there are so many different ways stream entry is often described. What do you say about it? What else? What is there to say about it? According to the suttas, a stream enter is somebody who has cut off the first 3 fetters and is bound for awakening within 7 lifetimes. There's not much else to say about it. I mean, that is the literal definition from the suttas of a stream enter. Now, the Buddha says, as we read, there's different, you can have different inclinations. You can become a stream enter on strong faith. You can become a stream enter on, strong wisdom, developing, understanding the Dhamma. But you become one who has entered the path, who has entered the stream. And as Bhante Gunaratana always said, it's a money-back guarantee. Right? It's the best guarantee there is, short of awakening itself, obviously, because that's the supreme sanctuary from the yoke. But you become a stream enter, you're guaranteed supreme sanctuary from the yoke. It's just going to take you a bit more, actually, probably a lot more practice, but you're close. Some people might need every bit of those 7 lifetimes before their awakening. All right. Any final comments, questions? Oh well. All right. Well, I think we'll call it a night here. So let's do our sharing of merit. Dukkha patta chane dukkha, bhaya patta chane bhaya, sokha patta chane sokha, hontu sabbe pipanino, etta vatta cha mehi, sampatang punya sampatang, sabbe deva anumodantu, sabba sampati siddhya, akasatta cha bhumatta, deva naga mehitika, punyang tang anumoditva, charang rakantu sasanang. May the suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit of ours that we've thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas, nagas, and yakas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddhist dispensation. Sadhu. All right, friends. Well, Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy and at ease. Practice well and be well, and may you have a spiritually successful and peaceful practice until we meet again, which, who knows, could be not tomorrow. Gregory, no MME tomorrow. You're the only one I think who's going to be, who's regularly in MME. There's all kinds of construction and stuff happening in the house. So there's, during MME meditation, so, for tomorrow, no MME, but we'll be back on Wednesday. Or maybe for Insight Timer session on Saturday on Insight Timer, reading suttas in the Discourse on Sunday evening, or next Monday for another Dhammapalooza, if I make it that long. So, all right, friends, have a good week.